Alright, back upstairs bathroom here, and I'm putting on some more sheetrock. Finally was able to get my shower pan in. I put that in my last video. I took it out because I needed to put the scaffold over there. But now I know exactly where my tile is going to be on the wall, because I know my shower pan's here. So I'm going to bring it over about 3.5 inches past on both sides. And the rest will be sheetrock, green board. Got this one in right now. Got my plate in already. Everything's fitting good. I just gotta go and measure this one spot here and then do my cut. Alright, got the last pieces up there. Made a little boo-boo here. So I just put a little piece in there. Didn't feel like cutting a new piece for a little sliver. And the mud will cover it next. And then up there at the top, I'm gonna put my hardy backer all the way up to about right here, and then I'll just put a strip of sheetrock, and then a little strip of sheetrock will go there. I just put another coat plaster on the seams, and I used fiber tape, so I had to do 2 layers of the regular hot mix, hot mud, and that's the second one. I got to do one more over there. And I think after the 2 mixtures, it's thick enough that you could just use the pre-mix stuff. One last coat just to smooth it all out. Next, I ordered a vanity. It came, and the Carrera marble on top was cracked. So I had to order another one, and I got to return that one. Backsplash was cracked. And this thing was cracked here, here, here. And yeah. In here. Okay, this guy from the shipping company brought it up the stairs for me, and what he did is he flipped the box upside down on its back and brought it in. It's got a Carrera top, marble top, and that's why it's broken like that. And this is from Home Depot. I don't know if it's a Home Depot delivery guy, but whoever they hired, they don't know what they're doing. So that came cracked and cracked. The base was okay. Couple screws came out that I was able to put back in. Like there was a screw out here, and this bottom one was broken at the bottom, but I ordered another one of these from Home Depot, and it came today. And so I took the base from that one and put it on this one because this one was not broken. But check this one out. This one came damaged as well. You can see this crack right here, and you can see this huge gap where this opens. Okay, there's a little, and yeah, that's damaged, and the top actually is slightly cracked as well. It's not bad. It's a hairline crack, a lot better than this one. Let me show you. I mean, I'm probably gonna keep it if they give me a discount, maybe. You could see, I don't know if you can see but there's a hairline crack right here, about 2 inches long. You can faintly feel it with your nail when you put your nail on there. It's very faint though, so I mean, I probably could live with that. Don't really feel like ordering another one. These are $1,300 a piece. So yeah, this one's really bad though. You can see the cracks, you can really feel it. So yeah, that's ordering from Home Depot for you. And these are made in Vietnam. I understand they come from way over there overseas, so they're well wrapped. A lot of foam in there. It's just that, yeah, it's just they get tumbled around too much by the shipping companies. And this is self-closing doors. It's pretty nice. Okay, this one you can close and it goes slowly. I like it, but yeah, it sucks that things are cracked. Alright, got the mesh tape up on there ready for mud. I like using mesh tape over the regular paper tape because it's just superior in my opinion. A little bit harder to put up on there, but I think it outlasts paper tape, in my opinion. When we get to mudding. Just finished up the mud work up there in the corners. That's the first layer. Probably gonna do one more. Yeah, it's getting there. Okay, today I'm cutting up my crown for my bathroom upstairs. And this is the crown I'm using. It is an MDF crown. About 8, I think it's 7¼ inches height wise. So this crown, this particular crown on my saw, it's too high to cut it at an angle like this. So I had to do a flat cut, which is laying it down. And for that, you have to really find out which degree you need to do your bevel. And so it's a little bit complicated, but what I did was a 30-degree slant to the left, and then I would put it on 35.2 or 35.3. So that's, here's 31.6. You just go over to 35 and just go over a hair more. Unfortunately, upstairs, my walls aren't 45 or 90 degrees exactly. They're a little bit off. So I don't have a tool to measure it, so I'll show you what I did though, because I did have a big gap. All right, so it was off on the top for some reason, don't know why. So I cut another little piece about that big, glued it in there, and that just was just to fill in the hole a little bit. And then what I did is I used my 45-minute plaster, and I plastered it in. And then I took like a Bondo spreader, and I kind of made the lines with the Bondo spreader. So you can see it came out all right. It's still drying, it's still wet. But yeah, if you would have seen the big gap I had, it was terrible. I thought the world was going to end when I saw that. I was like, no, because I don't have a whole lot to cut. And then this side, I'll have to do later, because on this side, I'm going to be making a pillar out of this pipe, covering up that pipe. I'm going to build some kind of pillar. So I've got to figure out how I want to do that. And then I'll put that last piece of crown in. The crown will go this way, and then I'll make it around the pillar and go that way. And I did use some Alex Plus in my cracks on the bottom and at the top to fill in the little gap. All right, back at it. Today I'm just going to be sanding this this drywall mud down flat and get it prepped for my final coat of regular joint compound that's already pre-mixed. So I'm just going to get it flat and then one skim coat of the joint compound, and then I'll be done. You see the crown up there that I installed, looks really nice. Alright, it's all nice and sanded. Ready for the last final coat. And I went and sanded that down too. Alright, back to work on the upstairs bathroom here. I still have the issue of this pipe. I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to do to fix this ugly air vent pipe. And yeah, let me get to it. So the toilet, first of all, the toilet doesn't sit, it sits a little bit far back from the wall, which I don't like. You got like 5.5 inches there from the back of the wall. Okay, 5.5 inches away from the wall. So that gives me play behind here to do something with this pipe. Originally I was just going to do a pillar here, one little pillar, and kind of dress it up as a nice little fancy pillar. But then I started thinking, it's going to look a little weird just having one pillar there in the corner, you know, over here. And again, the reason why this pipe here is because that used to be a wall. This was a wall here, okay, where the pipe was in, and this was just a toilet room. It just had a toilet and a sink, that was it. Then they extended it out with a shower back in the 80s. Alright, here you got my fireplace in my room. You can see it bumps out, I don't know, about 10 inches. And you can see how nice it looks with the ornate crown up there. Plaster, cornice, whatever they call it. And you can see that's what the look I'm going for upstairs over the toilet. So the way I'm going to fix this is I'm going to frame about where you sit, a little bit more in, and that's going to be, see right now it's 5.5. I'm going to have that in about probably 4.5 sticking out, and that'll give me just enough room for my sheetrock, and that should clear this. This is about almost 5.5 inches, so if I can get it to about 5 inches, it'll be good. Okay, I got to make sure the lid fits too. So that's what my plans are, is just to frame around this pipe. Yeah, and then I'll finish up the crown, and it'll be like going around a bump out, kind of like the way the fireplaces are. It has a little bump out, and that will solve the issue of the gap on the toilet, which doesn't look good in my opinion, and the ugly pipe. It'll conceal the pipe, and I'll be able to put some insulation in there so it's nice and warm behind the toilet, just in case it ever freezes up. At least you'll have a little bit of that warmth, keeping the toilet from freezing over if you ever went on vacation or something, forgot to leave the heat on. And so all I have to do is I got to run this pipe through the sheetrock that I'm going to put, and have this cap, this on-off valve over here rather than it being right there. All right, first thing I got to do is take this valve off. That's rubber boot in there. Alright, that's desoldered. Alright, so I went and cleaned the fitting down, sanded it, cleaned it all out. And now I can put an extension piece on here. So I'll have this on there like this. This will go through the sheetrock. And then I'll have my on-off valve here. And if I have to cut it, I can. Once I get the sheetrock in there, I'll know where to cut it at. And yeah, that'll be the connection to the toilet. Next step, gotta solder these two pieces in. Alright, I've decided to just line up my two outer studs with the window, just so it looks, because from over here you're gonna see the view of that pop out, and I want it to be symmetrical from the eyesight from here. Even though the toilet will be off by 3 or 4 inches, you won't really notice that. Even when you're standing up, you know, I have the stud there and the stud there, and that's exactly 7 inches from that top cap here, 7 inches in. So it'll be symmetrical between the windows, but not so much down here because it's a little bit to the left. But I think you won't be able to see it as much, you know, from because it's such a narrow bathroom. And that should give me enough room to get into the shower here. You get into the shower right here. The way the shower opens is it opens on both sides, a little bit on this side and a little bit on the other side, so your entry is in through here. Alright, I'm going to be using screws to hold down these 2x4s into the framing that I built, just in case in the future if I need to remove them, it'll be easier to do with screws rather than nails. Then I got to make sure that I have clearance from this pipe from my studs when I put the sheetrock on. So I got to make sure with the level that it's not hitting the pipe. Alright, so I got my studs in up, one stud up there, nailed them, or screwed them all in. And down here, everything's level too, make sure I'm level, I'm good. And I screwed all these in down here, so I just need one more 2x4 in the middle, and then I'll be able to put my sheetrock over that. Have my pipe ran, so that's all good. Just need one more piece of wood. And there's the last 2x4 in the middle. These are 10-foot 2x4s. It's ready for sheetrock. And that's how the toilet will look once in place. Doesn't look that, it's like an inch or two off on one side, but you won't really be able to tell. And I got about 1.5 inch play for the backing. I already checked, everything will fit just fine. You got to make sure you got clearance for the lid too, about 1.25 inches. And then after you got the sheetrock in there, it's probably going to take a 1/2 inch. So I have a little less than 1 inch left. It'll fit. Alright, here we got the insulation ran. I'm using some, I don't know, it's a foam insulation on one side, and then I got some fiberglass on the other. I gotta get a little bit more, so I ran out, and then I'll start the sheetrock over that. Alright, got some fiberglass insulation in there and got some sheetrock up. Just one more piece down there. Alright, just test fitting my toilet. Looks like it's gonna fit just fine with that sheetrock sticking out right there. Alright, so there we have it. All I gotta do is put some corner beads on inside and outside, and then mud that all up, and I'll be done there. And I'm fiddling around with the tile. I think I'm gonna go with just marble tile mostly, and put around the shower base, I'll just put like a 6-inch border of granite, black granite, all the way around, and the rest will just be white marble. And then I was thinking white marble everywhere else, and then just put a little strip like I did on that side with some black granite going across where right where the vanity sits. And so it'll look equal on both sides. You'll have a 6-inch border there and a 6-inch border around the shower. And then I just give it a little bit more color other than just, you know, having white marble everywhere. And then I'll be doing a porcelain backsplash. Porcelain because it's more water resistant than natural stone. Alright, here's the crown. I got it installed. It's all finished up. Just need to caulk it. Got some fiberglass mesh there on that seam line there. And just putting that crown there, that 7-inch crown, I tell you, it makes a really big difference in here when you look up. And next I just need to get some corner beads and then mud on the inside. Alright, just got some corner beads in and mudded over them with some hot mud, 90-minute mud. And it's starting to dry. I don't like to use this paper tape, but I use the paper tape on the inside. It's a little easier to do the inside corners with the paper tape than the mesh tape. But I've seen bathrooms where the paper tape separates from the plaster or the sheetrock. And that's because of all the steam when you take a shower. So this will be a test to see if this separates in the coming months or years, because it's the only place in here that I use paper tape. And that's just because I was being lazy and wanted to do it a little bit quicker. Some people swear on the paper tape. I don't know. I don't really care for it. But I used it right here. I need to go over it, mud it one more time, because it's still got, you can still see the edge of the paper tape here. I didn't go thick enough. So that's the first coat. This has mesh tape here. That's been gone over a second time. This probably just needs one more skim coat. Alright, here I got the crown all caulked, all the cracks filled. And it makes a really big difference when you fill in all those cracks. And this is going to need one more coat. Alright, that's the finish of this trim. I cut the first one on top too short by a hair, so I want to cut another one because I want it to be perfectly flush in there. Alright, I'm liking it. And I'm short, I think, one for that side, so I'll wait to do that for another day. But that's how it's going to look. It's going to look from that boringness right there to that nice trim there. And that with the crown looks brand new again. You would never know this was an 1867 built home.